Hello guys, how are you doing? I hope you're doing great. My name is Mels and today we're gonna be talking about the new Danessa Myricks Groundwork palette, which is supposedly a revolutionary formula, one of a kind type of palette. I have already tested this, used it a few times. I already have a few opinions on it and a few doubts as well, but today we're gonna be creating an eye look. I know that this is technically a face palette, so you are able to use this however you want, for lips, for the face, for eyebrows, and for the eyes. To be honest with you, I don't think I will be using this for the face. I think that the pens are too small. Maybe I can do some contouring, since today I don't have any on, but for anything else, I think the pens are too small, but I'm happy to just use this for eyes and maybe eyebrows. I have to tell you, as soon as you open this, the smell is weird. I've never smelled a makeup product with this type of fragrance to it. It's like sweet lemon. It smells like fruit, and every time I open this, I like it. The products per se, when you apply the eyeshadow, it's not like, you know, the scent lingers on your eyes or your face, but it's just this palette. I cannot stop smelling it. Alright, yeah, so we'll get to this right now, immediately. I just have to wipe off my eye makeup. Baby, my cat is biting me. Why? If you're interested in more makeup content, I would love for you to subscribe, but without further ado, let's get into the palette. Okay, so let's talk about this formula a little bit. So we have different type of pens. This bigger one is like a pomade, so like a cream to powder formula, and the smallest pen is the powder. When I looked at this for the first time, when it was revealed, I honestly thought that the powder would be the biggest pen, but instead we have the pomade, which is an interesting choice. As you can see, since I have already used it, your brush will definitely leave a mark in the pomade. It is a bit concerning because I think that it will be very easy to hit pan on this palette because the formula moves around so much. So when I took this concealer brush and went into sandstone, because I used this as an eyeshadow base, a lot of the product was squished to the sides, leaving a big dent in the middle. So I think that the more you use this, the harder it will be to pick up the product, because everything will just be squished into the sides. This is one of the concerns that I have while looking at this palette. The second concern is in relation to the very nature of cream products. You know, when you have cream product, it is easier for them to dry out because they are high moisture type of products. So my question is, how much this will last and will it dry out? Every time I open this eyeshadow, maybe it's just me, maybe it's just a high anxiety individual, and I know I am, but when I have this open, I always think maybe I should have this closed, maybe I shouldn't have this open while I do my makeup, maybe I should leave, you know, the sleeve on it. I don't know. I haven't read anything about this type of concern online. I actually haven't searched, but if you know anything about this, if you have heard anybody talk about this, please let me know. I'm very interested to know. So I actually like this product. Well, now it's the time for neutral palettes, isn't it? There's a lot of neutral palettes coming out. We have had the new Kylie Cosmetics palette, recreating the Makeup by Mario Mattes palette. We have the Patrick Ta, we have this. I think there are a few others, I don't even know. There's a lot of neutrals around, but I think that this one is captivating because of its special formulation. I also think this is very easy to use since I tried it. Because of the cream, it's very easy to blend, and I honestly think that you do not need to be a makeup artist to use this. You don't need to be a pro when it comes to makeup. Even beginners or people that are just trying out makeup for the first time, I think this is a good palette for it because it blends itself. One thing to note is, if you see this pen here, you can see that much, but this is untouched. And this, the first time you open it, it has like some fuzzies, like silver fuzzies. But I don't think it's part of the formula because, for example, this shade Harvest used to have these as well, but when I dig into it, I couldn't find any of these fuzzies. So I'm not sure what that is. Maybe it's something they used to press the cream into the pans that left these fuzzies. I don't think anybody addressed this, but I just want to point it out. I think it's safer to just swipe your finger in the eyeshadow and they will be gone. But I know that, you know, Jaclyn Hill had a huge controversy because of the fuzzies in her products, and this has fuzzies too? I don't know. Anyways, let's get into the eye looks, and then we will do some eyebrows because I took my eyebrow makeup off, and some contour. So the way I like to use this sandstone shade is as a base for all the other shades to go on. And yeah, I'm never sure how much I have to pick up because the brush doesn't seem to pick up a lot of product. So I just eyeball it. When I see I've left some marks in the pan, I just think, okay, that should be enough, right? I'm applying this sandstone shade as an all over shade. I like to cancel out the color of my veins, and that's why I usually use an eyeshadow base. But this shade, being a cream, it works as an eyeshadow base. I don't know if it helps with making the eyeshadows more long lasting. I am just interested in cancelling these colors and having a clean slate to work with. I think that these pomades aren't as pigmented as you would expect a cream product to be, and that might be a good thing, you know, if you are just wanting to create a look and you know, take it from softer to more bold. You can do that without having to worry about the too much payoff from the get-go. So it makes the product buildable. And you know, there are a lot of looks that you can do with this. I mean, it's neutral and it's the basic shades that everybody needs in their makeup collection. And if you have an extensive makeup collection, you probably have these shades already, like I do. You can do an all matte look, you can do a smoky eye, you can do I don't know, a fake cut crease and stuff like that, or the classic, you know, lighter to darker shades on the eyes. Let's do that. So I will pick up the shade, let's use Desert. This Desert shade is more yellow in tone. Usually I don't love shades that tend to yellow, but you know, I haven't used that, so why not? And as you can see, the color payoff, it isn't that worrisome. It's still there. So, and look, it has blended itself. Like, this is so easy to use, and I will probably reach into this palette more when I want to do, you know, more basic neutral looks, because I don't even have to think. Don't we all love products that make us not think? I think that's the dream. You know, do things, watch a podcast, watch YouTube videos, and just have your eye makeup blend itself. That's the goal. And yeah, it is yellower in undertone as I expected from the pan, but that's fine. So what exactly are these powders for? That's what I'm asking myself, because like, I like how this looks, and I think that it does turn into a powder, so I don't think that you need the powder formula to set the cream formula. And the last time I used this for a short, but I think it will come out later in the week. Anyways, I used the powders to set the cream, but the cream, it's not wet, you know, it's not going to move or budge anyways. So I don't know, it maybe depends on what you prefer using. Honestly, I have no clue. Let's keep this on the yellow track. Is that a thing? I'm going to use the shade Core, which is a bit daunting for me. I don't like orange, so but I still want to use shades I haven't used, so I'll still try. I think this is a great shade for the new trend, the pumpkin spice makeup, and yeah, that's orange. You know what, maybe the powders are actually for more pigment, because I noticed that they are definitely more pigmented. I will show you. As you can see, I can still build the cream. I don't think it will ever reach a point, this shade, where it will be super in your face. So maybe that's what the eyeshadow powders are for. I like that this isn't yet a pumpkin look. As I mentioned, I don't love orange. I don't think it suits my skin tone. I have a fair skin with cool undertones, cool to neutral undertones, so orange is the opposite of what I'm looking for when I do my eye makeup and my makeup in general. You know, I always tend to choose more cool tone colors. Anyways, let's try applying the the core powder this time and seeing if it increases the pigment. Yeah, it definitely did. Okay, so yeah, I think the pomade shades are for your base, and then if you want to deepen the shade, you just go in with the powder. The powder is also very easy to work with. This palette is well thought of. Like, Danessa Myricks knows her stuff. I know that there were a few people worried that this would be hard to use as a palette, but absolutely don't. This is the most user-friendly eyeshadow palette I've ever tried, probably in the last few years. And now I'm a pumpkin. Okay. So what can we do to deepen this? I'm going to pick up a smaller brush like this one. So we are working with warm tones. I'll go into the shade Harvest, just below core, in the pomade. And let's see if we need the powder as well. And I'll use this in my outer corner. Yeah, because you see, if I use just this, it blends beautifully. It gives some shading, but it's not maybe as pigmented as you would want a shading color to be. It creates some shade, but it's still not up there with what I want in terms of depth. So I'm going into the Harvest powder now, and I'm going over it, and it makes it much deeper. One thing I like to do to make sure that all the edges are blended is pick up a fair shade like this sandstone shade, or of course in relation to your skin tone, make sure it makes sense, it is native to your skin tone. And then with that loaded brush, I just go over the edges, and it will help bring everything together. So now that we have our structure, I will clean my brush first of all. I will go into the shade Mirage, which is a more neutral leaning shade, always in the cream first. And I will apply this all over my lid here. I have to admit that I kind of like the fact that you immediately leave a mark in the eyeshadow pen. I like seeing makeup that has been used, and since I love makeup and I have a lot of makeup, I don't really get to see pens that much, but seeing this, like how used this is, it makes me feel good. Is there anybody else that feels the same with used pens? I love it. I'm going into the powder formulation and just tapping it over the cream. And that's it. I will just pick up the sandstone powder and use this as an inner corner matte highlight here. It's a tiny bit deeper than what I would have liked for my skin, because it tends to be a bit yellow, but that's the only cream shade that we have, so we'll make do. I will apply the same shades I used on my eyes on my lower lash line, and I will be back. So this palette is beautiful to create a wing, an eyeliner wing, so I will use it for that. I'm just picking up an angled brush. So how I use this is I go into the cream shade first, so that I can create my base, and then I will set it with the powder so that it's even more black. If you want to have a soft blended wing, then just use the pomade, but in this case I want something more precise. I hate applying eyeliner with my mascara on. There was a makeup book I read when I was doing my makeup course that said that you apply eyeliner after mascara, and I get it because sometimes it helps guide everything, but using the product on the lid, you know, close to the lash line, is a nightmare when you have mascara. And that's how easy it is to make a wing, like literally 2 seconds with the right brush. And now with the powder, I'm just going over my wing so that I can increase the depth. I don't think this will ever get as black as a proper eyeliner, but you know, still works. I also didn't have much fallout. I had a bit of fallout with the black, which is usually what happens with every black I use, but the other shades, no fallout. Let's try this for my eyebrows. I use a very dark color for my eyebrows because they are almost black, so I will use the shade Bark here with an angled brush, and I tried to don't really recreate the hair strokes. What I do is just shade in the brows. This is a bit too warm for me, so I think we need to go with another shade. Yeah, well, now that I'm here, I will still do it on the other side, but I want to go back with another shade now. Okay, I'll try with the shade Sculpted. This one here, it should be cooler toned. And yes, this is definitely the right tone for me. I just like to fill in the part here in front and then just fill in any small holes. I already have a lot of brows, so don't really do much with them. Yeah, well, if I had gone with the right shade from the get-go, I would have liked this more. But I didn't, and that's completely on me. Let's try it for the face. I want to do a contour, actually, using this brush, which is kind of small, so I think, yes, this fits perfectly in the pan. I'm going in the shade, I think Chiseled is what I want to use, because this one's stone is a bit too gray. This seems like a nude tone. And I don't have any contour on, so let's see. I'm using the pomade for this. If this brush is not that big, it's not ideal for the pen size. I mean, this is working as a contour. It is working. It also blends well as it does on the eyes. I will go over here under the jawline. The first time I try this on my face, somehow the contour on this side of my face doesn't look as good as on the other side. We all have a bad and a good side. I like how the eyes come out here, but the face makeup, I prefer the other side. Go figure. There's no color here that I would like to use as a blush. I think maybe the only one that you could use is the orange, but no thank you. And yeah, I won't be using this for lips because honestly, these are not nudes for me, and I don't want a brown lip today. I think you could use this like as a liner or even as a lipstick, why not? But it's not the shades that I usually go for in a lipstick, so I think that I will keep this palette for the eyes mainly, and maybe eyebrows if I don't have my pencil, because I still prefer using my pencil. So this is how the look has come out. We have some contouring going on. The eye look is very blended in my opinion, in my modest opinion. I think this is it, you know? It's not a groundbreaking color story, but who knows, maybe if she has positive feedback, and I think she currently has, who knows, maybe she will come out with a different color story, more fun color story, or maybe a more rose-toned color story. That will be fun to see. I don't think in this pomade formula she can make shimmers, because I think they wouldn't really be shimmery, glimmery, glittery. I think they would be just sheens. It can be done, but it wouldn't be the best, you know, shimmer. C-toned one would be nice. I think I would get it if she came out with that. But yeah, this palette is very fun to play with, but it's also very, very useful. It has all the shades you need to create the foundation, the structure for your eye makeup. It's also good for the face. You could use this as a bronzer as well. I don't love using bronzers. It's very easy to blend, very easy to use, very intuitive, so I do recommend this palette. Whether you're a pro and whether you're a beginner, it doesn't really matter. It is, after all, a neutral palette, so I think if you were to compare this with the, you know, Makeup by Mario palette, the Patrick Ta palette, you probably would find some overlaps. Honestly, I don't think the selling proposition of this palette is the color story rather than the new formula, and I think that that's what's making sales for Danessa Myricks at this moment. And that's it for my feedback about this palette. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please remember to subscribe to my channel. Leave your comments below if you tried this, and if you know anything, you know, about how much this will last, if it will dry up, because I think this is a major concern for this type of formula, and yeah, I'd love to see that addressed. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!